Hey there, and welcome. Let's talk about you. Every single day, you make choices about what to buy, right? A coffee here, a download there. But have you ever really stopped and thought about the why behind it? Well, there's this really elegant economic model that pulls back the curtain on our decisions. And in this explainer, we're going to unpack it together. All right, to get us started, here's a real-world puzzle. Think about it. Music downloads completely took over the industry. They just skyrocketed. But ebooks, even though they're getting cheaper, they've had a way harder time getting people to ditch physical books. Why is that? It seems kind of weird, but I promise by the end of this, the answer will be crystal clear. Okay, to crack this mystery, we need two key tools. First things first, we've got to talk about the hard limits. It all starts with a super simple question. With the money you have and the prices out there, what can you actually afford? And that limit has a name. It's called the budget line. The best way to think about it is like the fence around your own personal shopping playground. Everything inside the fence you can afford. Everything outside? Nope. It basically sets the rules of the game. So let's make this real. Meet Lisa. She's got a $40 budget for two things: movies that cost $8 a pop and cases of soda for $4 each. This table just shows us her options. She could go all in on soda and get 10 cases, but 0 movies. Or she could be a total film buff, get 5 movies and no soda. Or she can mix it up, like in row C, 2 movies and 6 cases of soda. Now here's the cool part. When we take all those combinations and plot them on a graph, we get this perfect straight line. And that is Lisa's budget line. It's the visual for her playground. Any mix of movies and soda on or inside that line, she's good to go. But any point above it, totally out of reach with her budget. Not gonna happen. Okay, so the budget line tells us what's possible, but that's only half the story, right? It doesn't tell us what Lisa will actually choose. For that, we have to leave the world of cold, hard numbers and enter the much more interesting world of what she actually wants. And this is where our second tool comes in. It's called an indifference curve. Now, I know, the name sounds a little dry, but trust me, it's a game-changing idea. Just think of it like a line on a map, but it's a map of your happiness. Every single point on that line gives you the exact same amount of satisfaction. So, for example, take a look at one of Lisa's curves. Point C is 2 movies and 6 cases of soda. Point G is 6 movies and only a case and a half of soda. I mean, those are wildly different shopping baskets. But because they're on the same curve, to Lisa, they're both equally good. She'd be just as happy with either one. She's indifferent between them. And this makes reading the map super easy. Any point on the curve is one level of happy. Any combination of stuff above the curve, that's even better, more happiness. And anything below it, well, that's less happiness. It's as simple as that. Of course, none of us just have one level of happiness. We have a whole preference map with tons of these indifference curves. Think of it like levels in a video game. Each curve that's higher up and to the right is a higher level of happiness. So what's your goal as a consumer? Simple: to climb that map and get to the highest, best curve you possibly can. And now for the aha moment. This is where it all comes together. We have the two pieces of the puzzle. We've got the budget line, what you can afford, and we have the preference map, what you want. Let's put them together and find the single best choice. All right, first let's bring back Lisa's playground. Here's her budget line. This is her reality. It's everything she can possibly buy. Okay, now let's lay her happiness map right on top of it. Whoa, see that? You can see right away that some of those higher happiness levels are they're pure fantasy. They're totally outside her budget. But a few of her happiness curves do cross into her playground. So where does she end up? The sweet spot, the single best choice, isn't just any old point she can afford. It's the one specific point where her budget line just kisses the highest happiness curve it can possibly reach. For Lisa, that's point C, 2 movies and 6 cases of soda. This is it. This is the spot that makes her as happy as she can possibly be with the money she has. Now, what makes this model so incredibly powerful is that it's not just a static snapshot. It can actually predict how we behave. So let's see what happens when we mess with one of the numbers, like the price of a movie. So let's run a what-if scenario. What if movies go on a massive sale? The price gets cut in half, dropping from $8 down to just $4. Her income's the same, so does the same price. How does she react? First, let's just quickly remember our starting line. Before the sale, her best choice was point C, where she was buying 2 movies. Got it? Okay.
Now, since movies are cheaper, her $40 are suddenly way more powerful. She can afford more stuff. And visually, look what happens. Her budget line swings outward. Her personal shopping playground just got a whole lot bigger.
And with a bigger playground, she can reach a higher happiness curve. Her new sweet spot is point J. And check it out. She goes from buying 2 movies a month all the way up to 6. Of course she does. The thing that got cheaper is the thing she buys more of. That's the law of demand, playing out right in front of our eyes. Okay, so now we have our tools, we're ready. Let's go back and solve that ebook mystery from the beginning. Why the huge gap between digital music and ebooks replacing their physical versions? Well, the answer comes down to the simple fact that there are different types of consumers with totally different happiness maps. First, you've got Beth. She's a print book lover. The feel, the smell, for her, an ebook is a really poor substitute, which makes her happiness map super steep. Then you have Andy. He just wants the story. Digital, print, he doesn't care. To him, they're perfect substitutes, so his happiness map is a straight line. So for Beth, her preference for print books is just so strong that even with cheaper ebooks available, her best affordable choice is to just ignore them. She spends her entire budget on 17 physical books. For her, the digital option might as well not even exist. But what about Andy? He's the perfect customer. He's ready to go digital. But here's the twist. You have to buy the e-reader first. That's a huge upfront cost that takes a giant bite out of his budget before he even buys one book. That cost actually shrinks his playground. And the result? Even for the guy who's totally willing to switch, the best, most logical, affordable choice is still sticking with print. So what does all this mean? It means your choices aren't just random impulses. They are the logical, predictable result of your unique happiness map colliding with the hard reality of your budget. This simple model explains everything from your grocery list to massive trends in entire industries. So I'll leave you with this. What does your happiness map look like, and what choice is it guiding you to make next?